Okay.
Lastly, in cases where a death has occurred in or around a body of water with suspicion of drowning, it is important to confirm how that person entered the water. This is the crux of the matter. This information is especially important for those deaths of persons who can swim. As in the case with Nolan Wells, at the time of this report, this forensic pathologist does not know the condition of Nolan Wells. He did not know whether he was conscious or unconscious when he entered the water. He said that would be significant. He said he did not know whether he was forced into the water or unforced into the water. He said that would be significant. So he said the condition of Nolan Wells before he entered the water would be the crux of the matter. It would be of utmost importance to being able to determine a cause and manner of death. He said definitive circumstances of death are required to determine the manner of death. For these reasons, this pathologist cannot rule out, and let me really call your attention to this. For these reasons, this pathologist cannot rule out if any intervening non-accidental factors contributed to or caused the death of Nolan Wells. Understand, he's saying based on the examination of the body, he cannot rule out foul play. That is significant.
Now, I believe that is what we've been saying for the beginning of the case. Everyone's trying to rule out foul play, but there's no circumstance. You don't know the whole story to rule out foul play. That's how I see it. Now let's get your perspective.
So I didn't actually see this clip. I saw the clip where they were reading off the preliminary findings where he has that darkening in his subcutaneous tissue on the back of his head.
Yeah. Also, continue.
So for me, in cases of bodies found in water, how many of them do we think are able to determine how a body entered the water? Like specifically if it was conscious or unconscious, or the things that he's pointing out. Like, are we wanting that? Are we needing that because of the circumstances of the situation? Or are we needing that specifically, like, or is it needed in general to determine a drowning?
Ask that question one more time. I want to make sure I'm clear.
So, yeah. So when he's saying that the coroner can't rule it out because one of the reasons being that the coroner doesn't know how the body entered the water.
Right.
In cases of drowning, how often do we know, in cases of suspicious drowning, how many times does a coroner know how the body entered the water, whether it was conscious or unconscious? Like, how is
Well,
consciousness determined in an autopsy?
well, usually, from my understanding, is if you're conscious, there's going to be water in the lungs and the throat.
Mm-hmm.
You
Right.
know what I'm saying? Because you're drowning. But if you're unconscious, if you're already dead and unconscious, there's not
See,
going to be any breathing.
unconscious.
Trying to
So unconscious is different than actually being deceased. So you
dead.
can be
Yeah, yeah,
unconscious
yeah.
and
I
breathe.
agree. This is true. This is true. This is true. So
So,
what you're saying is you don't know if
like, is my question? I guess is are coroners looking for how a body enters into the water during a drowning normally, or is it specific to determining this case due to the circumstances?
well, I believe that it's in course with an investigation. Because if you
Mhm.
can't say definitively that he was dead or alive in the water, you got to go by the police interviewing who last seen him
Right.
and their story. And can that story be corroborated with evidence?
Right,
I don't think in a drowning
but what that tells me is that
the
they're not
coroner can
confident
tell.
either way. I said, but what that tells me is that they're not confident either way. Like, meaning that there is evidence or there is some inclination that is consistent with drowning, but it's not to say that the drowning wasn't caused by an additional factor. You see what I'm saying? Because
Yeah, yeah. This autopsy was done independently, so they didn't have the fresh body.
right,
So they're gonna they're not going to be able to determine and from what I understand, the first autopsy kept the throat and the neck of
yeah,
um
Nolan,
Wales.
yeah,
So that seems to be a very important piece to this case because, like you said, he identified the back of the head as having deep tissue bruising. I believe I want to say it right. Deep tissue bruising, and
well,
he doesn't have
yeah,
the neck to to determine where that bruising came from or is
mm-hmm.
that bruising. Now I was watching big wigs that done entered the chat. Like I believe her name is what's her name? The do the crime shows.
Nancy Grace.
Woo, Nancy Grace done entered the chat. And the doctor on Nancy Grace saying, "Oh, that could have been from pooling of blood after he died." But
Mhm.
you're making assumptions like you
Wait,
don't know when he died.
wait, wait,
Okay,
wait, wait,
go
wait,
ahead.
wait, wait. They said that they found Nolan face down, right?
Correct.
You can't pull in the back of your head if you're face down.
Right. But he's saying, oh, when they transported him, they're gonna turn the body over and transport him on his back to
Mm,
wherever he's going. That might be true. Okay. But my thing is, what I know for a fact that the blood starts to get thick after you pass. If
yeah, it's
yeah,
rigor mortis. You go into
we
rigor
don't
mortis.
know how long he was dead for. Y'all don't have a timeline on his death.
That's
So
uninteresting on the autopsy too. They don't know when he died. But
right.
go ahead.
So you making these assumptions that this is a fresh body getting transported for the blood to pool in the back of the head is presumptuous at at best.
I
Yes,
got.
ma'am.
So that's my other thing. No, but if Oh God! If blood is pooling, it wouldn't just be in the back of the head. It would be
Back of the head,
on the back.
on his back, on the back of his legs, on all of that. If that's
What
happening,
happened? Right. Exactly. But to have bruising, like to have this deep
deep tissue
subcutaneous,
bruising.
yeah, this deep bruising on the back of the head that's across the whole back, the whole occipital part of your head.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
and just in that area, like it wasn't like there was any additional like I find that the lack of findings because they also said that they didn't find any like skull fractures or things like that.
Right.
The lack of findings on Nolan's body is also very concerning. Then I'm like,
Right.
how how does nothing happen but everything happened? Like how does
Right.
nothing
My thing
appear
is,
to have happened?
okay, and the independent autopsy said he would have kept the neck as well. The neck seems to
Mm-hmm.
be very important to this thing. And
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand. I can't for the life of me understand why they're taking their sweet time to the releasing the official autopsy. Now, I did a little research and they said that they're waiting for the toxicology report. That can take up to
Mm-hmm.
6 weeks, but you can still give out information without the toxicology report. Like you got people very invested in this case. They want to know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And you can soothe their worries by giving some information. By you holding information is going to cause people to uh 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 assume the worst.
Well, I'm gonna do devil's advocate a little bit because in an
Okay.
autopsy situation, you have to release the autopsy altogether, or you're going to have to make adjustments to the autopsy if additional findings
Mm-hmm.
come up.
This is
So
true. Mm-hmm.
for this particular instance, I think we put our seatbelt on and let the ride go. We have the independent piece and what the independent is saying. What's interesting to me is that I'm glad you brought up Nancy Grace, because the pathologist that she had, or the forensic scientist that she had in the interview, was explaining why the toxicology report is being requested to begin with. And it
Mm-hmm.
has something to do, it has correlation between identifying whether the drowning, they're leaning towards it being a drowning, and they're trying to see if um the evidence points towards, is what I heard on that interview, is that um drug overdoses actually can present as fluid in the lungs.
As drowned. Yeah, I seen that too.
Yeah.
Yep.
So they're doing a toxicology report to determine to determine that. But I just we can't you
I
can't
think the
release
most
the
important
autopsy
thing,
right now.
I agree with you. It's just frustrating that we're getting such lack of communication through from authorities on the situations. And the two stories that are semi-official don't aren't congruent. They're telling two stories.
Yeah.
The friend saying he went with the girl. The girl is saying he went back with the friends. Now there's a picture of Nolan Well, supposedly Nolan Wells, on the back of the girl's boat with her dad. And now the dad seemingly can't be found or whatever. So there's some stories that need to be clarified. just because he drowned doesn't mean it was an accident. He could have been pushed off the boat. You know, he could have been forced underwater. He could have been anything. Uh, yeah, hit in the back of the head and thrown in the water, whatever. I'm just
Yeah.
saying we need the story to come out to complete the autopsy report, I believe.
Valid. Valid. I didn't know about the girl and the dad. I ain't even seen the picture.
Oh,
That's crazy.
you haven't seen the picture?
Mm-mm.
Let me see if I can pull this picture up real quick. Talk talk to me. Talk to me.
I'm waiting on this picture. I don't got to say nothing. And let that be a
We
lesson to
got
everybody.
entertainment.
You don't have to say everything.
Okay, I think I got a picture. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. Um, boom. Can you see that? Or do I need to zoom in some more?
Go ahead, zoom that in.
All right, let me find a better picture then.
Oh, you can't zoom it in?
Nah, it ain't zooming in. It ain't zooming in. But yeah, it's they saying it's on the back of the dad's boat. Um, he's reaching down. He's reaching down to grab a soda or something, and they matched his shorts with the known shorts that he was wearing.
Oh, I can see. I thought that was two people. Okay. I see. Like he's bending like you can see his back and he's bending over to
Yeah,
grab something.
that's his butt. Yeah.
I thought that was somebody's head. I ain't even gonna lie, but that's just my eyesight is fucked up.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they're saying that is Nolan Wells, and the owner of that boat is that girl's dad. And they are, well, the internet people are having a hard time finding where the dad is now. So, and that's where the case, I think that's where the case is whose story is true? Did he go back with the friends who kept his phone, kept his car keys, deleted stuff off his phone, or did he go with this girl and they still kept his phone, kept his car
That's
keys and things?
that's the whole point. Why would you delete things off his, you know, I don't know. That's
Yeah,
the
I
stuff.
have another case just like that where he just got found guilty for tampering with evidence. Like we mentioned on the last show, they should at
Mhm.
least be arrested for tampering with evidence.
Right.
And
Right. A
because
step,
they're
and why
keeping
are
his
you
phone
touching? Right, a step, and then you tampering after the body's been recovered. Like,
right.
yeah, that's those are crimes.
These are crimes and they should be prosecuted.
That's crazy as
But
hell. Yeah.
here's another there's another black black guy drowned, and the the teen took his phone and started throwing his clothes out the window while he was going
Just
home.
days ago, police arrested two teenagers in connection with Irving's drowning and have charged them with tampering with evidence. The family addressed this in a news conference earlier today. Our Braseda Olguin has the story.
Today, we heard from Daniel's mother. She was very emotional and distraught and say these last 3 months have been nothing but agony as they search for answers.
Our family has gone through so much the past 3 months, waiting for the justice system to provide justice.
Complete agony, day and night. From the moment we wake up to the moment we go to sleep, it's a soul tie between all of us. We're so equally yoked and connected that we feel this deeply.
It's been 3 months since Daniel Irving drowned in Lake Ray Hubbard. According to the affidavit, Daniel and 2 other teens jumped into the lake off a bridge. DPD says after conducting a thorough investigation, they determined the cause of death was accidental. But just a few days ago, 19-year-old Lucas Roper and a 17-year-old were arrested for tampering with evidence.
Conducted.
Yeah. So
That's it.
I don't think I don't think it's unreasonable for us to want the teens who had his phone and deleted stuff off his phone to be arrested for tampering with evidence.
I agree. I don't even know why we would need to explain that. But given today's
Right.
society, I can understand why we would need to explain that. So
Right.
take a real hard look
Right.
in the mirror if y'all are confused on why we think that's valid.
Right. And you keeping a phone of a missing person, like you're not gonna give it back to the parents, you're not gonna give it to the police officer. There was calls that night for him being missing. So why are you keeping his property of someone, of your friend that's missing? Yeah, I just don't understand it. I just don't understand it. And Mississippi is getting a very bad.
Mississippi
This is
is
a very
already bad.
bad rap for law enforcement, especially
Mississippi has
with
always been like that. There's
well,
just
they getting on the
they
forefront
haven't
now.
been more publicized
Yeah,
recently, but they've been like that.
yeah, it's being outed,
Yes,
and the fact
exactly. More
people
people are fighting back.
trying to step. I watched this. Well, I couldn't watch the whole thing. I watched this. Officer Tatum. You know that Officer Tatum?
Officer Tatum.
He's a no. I'm glad you don't know him. He's a stupid YouTuber, and he got one of the teens in the picture. I believe he was in the picture to do an interview, and they're trying to say that he got drunk and that's what happened to him. And I was like, bro, he's not. He's one of us, but he's not one of us. Everybody that's skin folk ain't kin folk, right? And he's trying to die down the
Okay,
movement
yeah.
to figure out what really happened to him.
Okay.
So
Understood.
yeah,
I think every Black person they've interviewed so far is intended to do that, but go ahead.
right. And now they got one of the white friends to come up
I saw
and say the
him.
same thing.
Exactly. I saw that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, we are still not in the know.
Like I said, right, and we still waiting out for the story, I guess, because nothing we've been hearing can be corroborated by evidence.
Exactly.
And yeah, so I guess we still waiting. I want to put pressure on them to release the information. I'm glad this case is bringing other cases to light, because there was another lady who drowned. Her son drowned in the Mississippi River. That she's getting traction now.
Good.
And he went out with friends of a different race, and they came home, and he didn't. It seems to be a pattern. And I don't know if you heard about the TikToker who's making light of it. You hear about him saying we did it, we threw him in the water
I did, and
because
he
y'all
lost his
boys can't
job.
swim.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
lost his
yeah.
job, and
The
now he's
FBI
back on
called his ass.
TikTok crying that he lost his job about
Mm,
it. Oh, yeah,
yeah.
I've seen
I don't
y'all
think he's lying all the
ridiculous
way.
response. No,
Yeah.
I don't think he's lying at all. I think that is a very heartfelt, truthful TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why
Your
be mindful of the
ass is
company you
jobless.
keep.
Got kicked out this family house. I'm like, yeah, you deserve all this, bro. He's like, you can have your stupid ass feelings, but stop putting them online.
This emboldened movement like
Right.
is
I'm glad
insane
your
to me.
family
I knew
disowned your
y'all.
stupid
I
ass.
knew y'all
I'm,
existed, but the fact that y'all stayed quiet for so many years, this must be very it
I wonder
this
why they
must be
came out.
very inviting for you guys.
Yeah. Come out here and talk that mess. And now his family don't want nothing to do with him. He's losing
And
custody of his
kicked
kids.
it
I'm like,
right
good,
out,
you a dummy.
didn't
Fucking
she?
stupid.
She said, "No, not here. I appreciate it. I
Right.
appreciate
You got to
standing
go
on
somewhere. You gotta put
business."
right.
Exactly.
And there's always the ones that ain't doing shit. Got the most to say. You staying with your parents. You don't have custody of your kids because apparently you was beating on your wife and she left your ass. And now you lost your job that you had for 6 years. I'm like, bro, your life wasn't
Freedom of speech does not mean freedom of consequence, and I think that hashtag has been circulating on TikTok here recently. So
I'm glad
so
about it.
talk y'all shit.
Teach him a lesson.
Talk
Teach him
y'all
a
shit.
lesson.
Just be prepared for shit to hit the fan afterwards.
Right. He mad at us because they done found where he worked at and then start calling the job on his ass. He said he pulled up to the job. The phone kept ringing. I was like, God damn. How does that feel
Woo!
when you call the job and you know what's about to happen?
Right. Hey,
You
yeah,
know,
no,
some
I
stupid shit you said.
yep, you did that. You did that.
Right.
Own it. You were so confident online. Now own it.
She blaming the wife that owns he blaming the woman that owns the business. Talking about, oh, she done hired all these blacks. When I started here, it was an all white company. I was like, oh, that made it sound like you wanted the job. So
I love when you
you
can
might have
tell,
shut the fuck up and you would have kept your little job.
and you can tell when they start
Had to
saying
turn
that
in the
hard
little
B and that hard B and black is crazy. That you get okay, got
yeah,
it.
yeah. Had to turn in your
But
little
yeah.
company car. Do you have a car to get around now?
You can pay $1,400 a month for one if you need one. That's how much the car is going for now because of tariffs.
Yeah. Well,
But
he
go
ain't
ahead.
got no job, so he ain't got the 1,400 a month.
Facts.
All
Facts. It got to be in walking distance of his
right,
mom
let's
and
get
daddy's
off of.
house.
Hey,
Bye.
we'll be here next week. Please like, share, and subscribe this thing. We're trying to grow our channel. Yeah. See y'all next Thursday.
Maybe. Bye.
Man, you gonna be here.